Go stand in front of your refrigerator right now. What do you see behind that cold door? A glistening soda can, a smooth jar of yogurt, leftover pizza from last night, or fruit flown in from across the ocean? To you, that's convenience. But to your ancestors, absolutely none of it would be considered food. The truth about what they actually ate would make anyone today shudder with horror. Shocking discoveries in ancient caves across the globe have shattered our illusions about human history. To understand our true nature, we must travel back 3 million years to a time when survival didn't begin with the heroic hunts you might imagine. Your earliest ancestors weren't mighty warriors at the top of the food chain. They were scavengers, shadows stalking the African savanna, patiently waiting for the grim scraps left behind by apex predators. This was the start of a brutal journey of blood, fat, and raw resilience, a story that your body still remembers in every single cell. Once saber-toothed cats or ancient leopards had polished off the tender meat and organs, all that remained for humans were the scraps of bone that even the sharpest fangs of those great beasts couldn't crack. But it was right here that a survival revolution took place. Armed with nimble hands and sharp stone flakes known as Oldowan tools, our ancestors unlocked a hidden treasure of energy: bone marrow. Inside those thick leg bones lay a rich, calorie-dense fat, the ultimate luxury of the natural world at that time. They even cracked open skulls to reach the brain, a massive source of fat that fueled the very dawn of human intelligence. Their daily menu was also packed with insects, locusts, fatty woodgrubs, and crunchy weaver ants. These weren't just starvation foods, they were vital sources of protein, as satisfyingly crisp as popcorn. This era lasted for millions of years, programming your body to treasure every drop of fat like a precious jewel, an instinct that still haunts us today through our intense cravings for fatty foods in the modern world. The real transformation began about 1 million years ago, when the first sparks of fire were lit in Wonderwork Cave, South Africa. Fire was more than just a source of warmth. It was history's ultimate pre-digestion tool. Instead of forcing the stomach to labor for hours, breaking down raw meat and tough roots, cooking softened the food, unlocking maximum calories with minimal digestive effort. This pivotal moment reshaped our entire anatomy. As digestion became easier, our once bulky digestive tract began to shrink, freeing up a massive surplus of energy. That entire surplus was channeled into a single organ, the brain. Despite accounting for only 2% of our body weight, the brain burns through a staggering 20% of our daily calories. You simply can't power a supercomputer of that magnitude on forest leaves or termites alone. It was these calorie-dense, cooked meals that fueled our intelligence, transforming a humble scavenger into the dominant species on the planet today. Ever wonder why you find the aroma of grilled meat or cooked food so irresistible? That is the echo of 1 million years of evolution calling out to you. Don't look away, because next we'll reveal the sweetest and most mysterious addiction our ancestors hardwired into your genetic code. By 300,000 years ago, your ancestors looked almost exactly like we do today. This was the moment the human menu truly exploded. No longer just scavengers picking at leftovers, we became masters of the natural world. On the vast open plains, we hunted mammoths, bison, and wild horses. Along the coastlines and riverbanks, we harvested fish and shellfish. Roots, wild grains, berries, and fungi, if it was edible, it was on our radar. But among this vast array of choices, there was one ultimate treasure that any ancestor would gladly risk their life to reach: honey. Look at the Hadza people of Tanzania today, one of the last tribes to maintain a primitive hunter-gatherer lifestyle. They will scale trees dozens of meters high, enduring hundreds of agonizing bee stings just to get a few drops of that liquid gold. Why? Because honey is the most concentrated source of calories found in nature. This was the birth of your sugar addiction. For our ancestors, sugar was a dual-purpose fuel. It provided the instant energy needed to outrun a predator, and it helped build the fat reserves necessary to survive a brutal winter. Your brain was hardwired to view sweets as the ultimate reward. That is why today your body cannot tell the difference between a wild honeycomb and a donut or a can of soda. They all trigger the exact same survival program that has been running for hundreds of thousands of years. Beyond the sugar rush, history left us with even darker, stranger dietary instincts. First, there's the insatiable craving for meat. Taking down a single mammoth didn't just provide a staggering 3 million calories, it saved the tribe hundreds of hours of back-breaking gathering. This newfound leisure time became the bedrock of human society. By the glow of the campfire, our ancestors began to tell stories and pass down the skills that would define our species. But the truth ventures into even more chilling territory: cannibalism. Evidence found at Gough's Cave in England reveals that our ancestors crafted human skulls into drinking cups and etched intricate patterns into arm bones. Most shocking of all, they didn't do this out of starvation. The cave was teeming with the remains of deer and horses. Instead, it was part of a haunting, spiritual ritual. Even stranger, our ancestors actually had a taste for rotten meat. They would often submerge carcasses in streams or bury them in the cold earth until they were teeming with maggots and the stench of decay. Bacteria soften the meat, making it easier to digest while providing essential B vitamins. If that makes your skin crawl, remember this. Every time you enjoy cheese, yogurt, beer, or fine wine, you are essentially experiencing controlled rot. Today's sophisticated delicacies are the direct descendants of the macabre, decaying feasts our ancestors held tens of thousands of years ago. Finally, look at yourself at 11 p.m. You stand before the refrigerator, bathed in its cold neon glow, reaching for a snack even though you aren't truly hungry. Why? This is the 3 million year program running in your brain. Your biology has no concept of supermarkets or deep freezers. It knows only one command: consume every calorie within reach while you still can. For tomorrow, the hunt may fail and the world may be empty. If we were to teleport a prehistoric hunter from 50,000 years ago into your modern kitchen, they would feel as though they had stepped into the larder of the gods. A chilled soda in a metallic shell? To them, it is a miracle. Freshly baked loaves of bread, pure bottled milk, and exotic fruits from lands they never knew existed? It is the pinnacle of luxury. For 3 million years, every one of your ancestors woke up shivering in the cold, driven by the gnawing ache of hunger and the exhaustion of the chase. You belong to the very first generation in human history to be spared that relentless struggle. The story ends with a profound realization. You possess a body meticulously engineered to survive extreme scarcity. Yet you inhabit a world of dangerously convenient excess. We do not just eat for sustenance, we eat with the collective memory of 3 million years of blood, sweat, and those rare, precious drops of honey. You are the culmination of the greatest survival odyssey on Earth, and every bite you take today carries the lingering echoes of that ancient, distant past. The great paradox of our time is this: the very instincts that once saved our ancestors, the craving for sugar, the lust for fat, the fear of scarcity, are now the silent culprits behind obesity, diabetes, and the diseases of the modern age. Every time you pick up a morsel of food, remember, you aren't just nourishing your body, you are participating in a ritual 3 million years in the making. Do not let these ancient programs run your life on autopilot. Acknowledge your extraordinary luck to be part of the first generation in history spared the trembling of the cold and the despair of starvation. But at the same time, learn to say enough to the sugary treasures your ancestors once risked everything for. Understanding our past isn't about returning to the caves. It's about gaining the wisdom to master our own future. Eat as if you truly understand the price of every calorie, and live as the proudest legacy of 3 million years of evolution.